everyone, welcome to your weekly reading. If you enjoy love readings, make sure to watch my monthly love readings for each sign of the zodiac, and I will leave a link to the playlist down below. Also join me on Facebook. I pull 3 tarot cards every day along with the card from the Romance Angels and 1 card from the Archangel Raphael deck for a health message. And if you would like a personal reading, I will leave a link down below. Now enjoy the reading. Okay, so let's get into the reading. I've already shuffled. And now I'm just going to pull 9 cards. The first card is the King of Rods. The Tower. The Sun. Page of Cups, Queen of Rods, interesting synchronicity with concerning the reading we had last week, the Fool, the Three of Cups, the King of Cups, and Death. The card at the bottom of the deck represent the main energy, and we have the Three of Rods. To me, the Three of Rods represents looking towards the future. This means that you're very motivated, that you are waiting for an opportunity. Usually when this card comes up, you've been trying to stay optimistic, and you've been waiting for quite some time for something to manifest. So we have that interesting synchronicity again this week. Remember that it happened 2 times in the reading for last week. I don't remember if it was the King of Rods or like the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, but I had mentioned whenever I see, I don't know if other readers take this, but whenever I see like a king with his queen, to me this represents like a sense of belonging. And I mean, we do have the Page of Cups here. So, I mean, I think last week it was a King and Queen of Cups that showed up in one of the readings, but we have that interesting synchronicity again. So I feel, for some of you, I'm not going to rehash the same reading from last week. I'm not going to recycle the same reading, but I do feel like Spirit is... Let me just put this card back down. I feel like Spirit is like somebody heard the message last week and thought, well, that's just a synchronicity. Well, is it a synchronicity again that it's happened? We'll see what happens with the love reading. But if you look at the reading like this, King of Rods, Queen of Rods, Death. For some of you, they might be talking about, a couple this time, and this could be a different message. It could be that, yes, you belong together, but something has to change with Death being here. Something has to end, and it could be something not so positive in the relationship. I'm going to do something I usually don't do in general readings, but I feel like I need more confirmation. Nine of Rods. I'm wanting more confirmation as far as what did this energy of death mean. I feel like something has to change between 2 people who are together. Something has to end in order for you to move on together. The Nine of Rods represents being very protective and defensive, always having to watch your back, being paranoid. I know I said I wasn't going to rehash the reading from last week, but it's kind of turning into that. I feel like Spirit is almost saying, like, wake up. Like somebody, you might be about to kind of like lose a relationship because somebody's not being very trusting. Somebody's just being downright paranoid, and if something doesn't change, you have this energy of the Tower. Something very unexpected could happen. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to rehash the same reading from last week, but that was a message that I was getting. So let's just read the King of Rods as just like an energy. This is the energy of taking the lead in your life, taking responsibility, feeling really passionate, motivated, determined to get ahead, determined to get those things that you want, having a lot of energy and being determined, just kind of pursuing your goals. Spirit is promising you that if you do that this week, this will pay off for you. We have the energy of the Tower. So this is kind of like an explosive energy, but because we have it next to the most positive card in the Major Arcana, it's like if you put your mind to doing something that you really want, put your mind as far as like pursuing something that, where's the main energy? Here, something that you have really kind of, you've been waiting for an opportunity. Perhaps this week you take drastic action to make this happen, to finally see this happen in your life. You might be surprised, and the Tower does sometimes literally represent some type of like amazing surprise, a synchronicity. Sometimes a surprising information coming to you, a surprise phone call, shocking news. So I feel like this is not going to happen just because it was just kind of meant to be. It's because of something that you do. The King of Rods is all about action. You take action on something, and something very unexpected comes from this decision that you make. So I feel like if there's something that you've been looking at as far as like, you know, is this ever going to happen for me? Should I take action? The Three of Rods is usually, it's not an energy of action. It's a energy of waiting but looking for an opportunity, being hopeful for an opportunity. But this week the message is to go and get it. Stop waiting. Something unexpected will come of this. And then we have the Sun. So this is, like I said, the most positive of the majors, and this represents success and victory and happiness. It represents, you know, marriage and children, all of those things. So I feel like whatever it is that you have been kind of waiting to see, you know, should I or shouldn't I, or is this or this is it gonna happen for me? This represents you taking action on this. Something positive will come. You will actually finally see the results that you want. For some of you, yes, this may actually be, you know, what I started off, you know, in this reading, what I started off discussing, which is a couple. We have the Page of Cups, which to me, the Page of Cups represents a relationship, a new relationship or an old relationship being rekindled. And it did come after the Sun. To me, the Sun represents marriage and children. So it could be that some of you have been kind of looking forward, looking for an opportunity, maybe with somebody that you're interested in. And there's that same synchronicity that we had last week. Two people belong together, but maybe somebody has to be brave and take action. Make a move towards this person. There will be some type of surprising, shocking development. A lot of positive energy around this development if you take action. And I feel like for some of you, this is somebody that, you know, you are drawn to, or this could be mending a relationship. Now, the next card is the Queen of Rods. So she's a lot like her king. This represents a lot of energy, enthusiasm, stamina, self-confidence. Seeing it next to the Page of Cups, I feel like for some of you, like I said, this could be about a relationship. In order for you to have a second chance, maybe, or a chance with somebody that you're interested in, or healing a relationship, because the Fool is here, and this represents a new beginning. But this represents also taking a risk. So I really feel like this really does apply to what we have going on in the middle of the reading. You taking some type of crazy risk with the energy of the Fool, perhaps, you know, connected to your love life, something that you've been waiting for. Wait no more. Take some type of action, you know, whatever that means to you. Something positive will come of this. Something that you perhaps did not expect, because the Tower is kind of shocking energy. But you have it next to the Sun, so this means that there will be kind of like a positive shocking event. There's nothing. The Tower does sometimes like seem frightening, but it really does depend what energies are around it. And I feel like this event, although yes, it may be shocking, it's next to the King of Rods, which means that you set it in motion and something positive comes of this. And like I said, this could be connected to relationships. You take action and you take a risk, and you have, you know, a new beginning. Whether this means that, you know, you have a new beginning with a new person, or you have a second chance with somebody that you love. Okay, so the next card is the Three of Cups. To me, this card represents family, it represents marriage, children, happiness, celebration. We have this next to the King of Cups. So I feel, you know, to me the kings and the queens, I always read them as people. I feel like they're especially talking to someone who's a water sign. And like I said, I pulled this extra confirmation card down here, and I never really do. I do that in private readings. If you've had a private tarot reading with me, you know that I do that. But I don't usually do it in the weekly readings. I feel like they're really kind of speaking to somebody here who is a water sign. There's a marriage, there's children. I feel like the main message is that you will have happiness once again, but this requires some type of ending in order for there to be a new beginning. And if you look at the reading like this is an ending and a new beginning, and then we have a new beginning, and then we have the Sun, which is promising a positive outcome. So I feel like whatever it is you have to do to bring more happiness into your life, whether this is about relationships or about your career, I feel like it requires action on your part. And like I said, I pulled this additional confirmation card because I felt like I should, and it just seems like there's this energy of like holding on to something that needs to go. And this may be a relationship, but it may also just be like something that doesn't serve you anymore, something that you're holding on to for the wrong reasons. But this, when I look at this card, it almost looks like an invitation, like something new awaits you. And I feel like what is awaiting you is, you know, happiness, new people coming into your life. And for some of you, yes, you know, love. This is kind of lined up. This is lined up with the Page of Cups. This is love, and this is love. And then we have possibly someone who's a fire sign. It's like we have that message again, like two people belonging together. Two people, or maybe two people who are together, but remember this, you know, kind of confirmation that I got from this card. With death, something has to end in order for there to be a new beginning, maybe for you to continue in the relationship. There's this energy here of being very defensive and protective. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the love reading. Okay, so let's get into the love reading. I've already shuffled, so let's get 9 cards. The first card is the Ten of Pentacles, which I believe we had last week. The Ace of Wands. The Ten of Swords. The World. The Eight of Wands. The Emperor. The Nine of Wands, which came up in the weekly reading as an extra confirmation card. The Knight of Pentacles. And Judgment. And the main energy around love for this week is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a new beginning, and we already have a new beginning here. The Ace of Pentacles is just kind of like a surprise. You're kind of showered with blessings and abundance. This is a love reading, so this is kind of like an unexpected offering of love. Something that you weren't expecting that just kind of seems to happen magically. But something else is going on in this reading. I feel like in order for you to have this blessings, there has to be some changes. Sorry, the cards look a little bit crooked when I'm looking at the monitor here. What really kind of gets my attention in this reading is that we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords at the top. We have two tens, and then we have the Ace right in the middle. So to me, the tens represent an ending. In general, to me, the tens represent the end of something. And ironically, we have a new beginning right in the middle. Not only that, but then we also have the World, which is a major arcana, and it represents an ending. So I feel like they're emphasizing like some things have to be let go in order for you to have the relationship that you want, the relationship that you deserve. Remember that this did come up in the weekly reading, although I was trying to not make it into a love reading. Maybe that's Spirit's way of telling me I should stick to love readings. But there's just like this energy around like, you know, endings right now. If you want a new beginning, you're going to have to let go. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. To me, this card represents family, marriage, children, having a firm foundation and financial stability. So we also have this energy over here in the Ten of Swords, and this represents sometimes a betrayal, being stabbed in the back, being almost kind of paralyzed by some type of event where you were just traumatized and you have not been able to move on. So I feel like there's an opportunity for a new life for you. And Spirit is saying, wake up this week. We have the Ace of Wands, which to me is a clean slate. You're allowed to start over. Everything new, but also something within you changes whenever I see this card. And we also have Judgment, which is very similar. To me, these two cards are very similar. Judgment represents a second chance at a new life, a second chance to be happy. But remember, we have these tens around it. So I feel like part of the message is that in order to have this new beginning from the Ace of Wands, this clean slate, it really does have to be a clean slate. You have to let go of this betrayal. And for some of you, this may be someone from the past who lied to you, who broke your heart, and you have to just shake it off, because there's this energy of, you know, of marriage around you. So I feel like for some of you, it could be someone from the past, but it could even be somebody that you are still in a relationship with. Maybe, you know, arguments that are recycled, arguments, something maybe you've not forgiven your partner for. If you really do want a new beginning, and like I said, we have two in this reading, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. If you really do want a new beginning with your partner, then Spirit is asking you to leave the past in the past. Yes, you know, you have a very positive message here of marriage and stability, but it comes with letting go. Leave the baggage in the past if you want this new beginning in love. Like I said, this applies whether you're single and you're letting go of, you know, someone who broke your heart last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or your current partner. If you're still carrying around some type of baggage from some type of betrayal that maybe you said you had forgiven them, but secretly you haven't. You have to let that go if you really want a fresh start with them. And then this message of endings continues with the World. To me, the World represents a natural conclusion, something just playing itself out, an ending. It's a major arcana, so this is a big event, significant ending in your life. And what I'm noticing here is that we have two major arcanas, the World and the Emperor. The Emperor is all about you. This is all about your power. This is about you taking control of your life. And I feel like something's going on where you're feeling like your love life is not in your hands. Like you're giving too much power to someone who broke your heart in the past. You've given them way too much power to where maybe now you can't trust. Maybe you don't want to be in a relationship. If it's not someone from the past, you've given too much power to your current partner, where maybe something that happened in the past where your heart was broken has not, like you're with this person now for the wrong reasons, or you're not forgiving. I feel like there's a need for you to take your power back. Something like you have to put your foot down. Something has to end in order for things to keep moving forward. Because we have the Eight of Wands right in the middle of this. To me, the Eight of Wands represents a lot of action, change, excitement, movement. Movement. The key word I'm getting is movement. If you want to see movement in your love life, for some of you, again, I'm going to say it again, you have to let go of the past. If you keep holding on to the past, you know, betrayals or grudges, those of you who maybe you're still with a partner where you think you've forgiven them, it's like in order for you to move forward, You have to let go of something from the past. You have to let go. And for some of you, what you're looking forward to with these new beginnings is having a more committed relationship. You know, marriage, maybe moving in together, or having children. But the movement is here. You know, this is what you've been waiting for. This is the change, and, you know, the changes in your relationship, the excitement. But this comes with you taking your power back and some type of ending. Some cycle has to end in your love life, in your relationship, in order for you to see the excitement that you want. Now, down here, we have the Nine of Wands. So this came up in the weekly reading, you know, and to me this card represents being very protective of yourself. You're very protective. You don't want to have your heart broken again. And, I mean, it's next to this energy of the Knight of Pentacles. This card represents moving towards your goals, but not moving as fast as you should be moving. It's significant that the Knight of Pentacles is right beneath the Eight of Wands, because this represents kind of being free from, like, kind of like this energy where you're moving towards your goals, but you're moving kind of like at a snail's pace, very slow. And this is things finally picking up after kind of being here. So I feel like this energy, if you're in an energy where you're just feeling very protective and defensive when it comes to trusting other people, it always happens at the end of the reading. Here is a new beginning for your love life. So actually we have 3 new beginnings in this reading. 1, 2, 3. Because to me, Judgment represents a new beginning, a second chance to be happy. This is a love reading, so this could be a second chance with a partner, someone from the past, or a second chance to have a relationship. But there's this energy of like protecting yourself, not trusting, being defensive, even paranoid. This is kind of keeping the energy kind of moving very slow. I mean, and so at some point, like, you will get to where you need to get, but I feel like if you can remove this energy, you will do yourself a great favor, because the final card is, like I said, Judgment, a major arcana. This is a second chance for you to have the relationship that you wanted. This is a second chance at love. And this card usually comes up when you have been in a very kind of dark place, when you've hit rock bottom. But this whole reading is kind of screaming new beginnings, but it's also screaming endings. If you look at the reading like this, like I said, this could be, you know, finally moving on from a betrayal, leaving it in the past. And here's you being very defensive and protective, paranoid, not being able to trust, and with movement right in the middle. So it's like there's something brewing in your love life. It's like it's here and it wants to kind of burst open and bring you all this excitement and new beginnings, but there's something from the past that's like not allowing it to come in, and perhaps something within you where you're afraid to trust, you're afraid to let go, and you're afraid to maybe just allow love back into your life. Okay, everyone, this has been your weekly reading. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next week.